Hello! Today we will be looking at the Cambridge IGCSE music listening paper. We are looking at a section B today regarding general world music, and we are diving into Latin American music. So I have previously done a video on a Latin American music extract before. I have linked it in the description below, so please do make sure to watch that video before diving right into this one. Just because in that video I do explain more about the structure of the IGCSE paper and how much time we actually have to answer this question, all of that. So we're diving into a section B2 today. I am looking at the November 2023 paper 1-1 past paper. Now, of course, from November 2023 onwards, Cambridge does not provide us with the audio tracks directly on the Cambridge School Support Hub. We still find our past papers, our mark schemes, our grade thresholds, as well as our examiner reports on the Cambridge School Support Hub. But we now are also given a track list. So instead of the actual tracks, we are given a track list. Now, pros and cons for this. A little bit of confusion with this one specifically. So as you can see, they have given us a title and they've given us a composer, as well as the recording artist and the publisher. So I went ahead and typed in the title of this extract for B2, and I typed in the recording artist. I got a CD, a full-on CD with none of the tracks actually having the name of the CD. So the name of this track that they've put down for us translates to On the Wings of the Condor, which is a bird. It's an Andean bird, a South American New World vulture actually. Very interesting, but there's actually no such track. It is actually a title of a CD, and on the CD there is not a track with this title. So I listened to the full CD. Yay! Luckily in this past paper, this extract, we are given a skeleton score. Thank you, because then I was able to listen to each of the beginnings of the track and, compare it with the skeleton score. And when I got to track 16, I finally had a match. So I have linked for you below in the description the full CD, which is great. I mean, go and listen. Go get accustomed with different types of South American music. You will also see that this CD provides us with different South American countries. So we have music on the CD that comes from Peru, Argentina, Bolivia, Ecuador, Chile, Venezuela, Cuba, Paraguay, Colombia, etc. And this very track that we're going to listen to, track 16, with its own title, which I have, linked below as well in the description, so you can go ahead and listen to it there. This one comes from Argentina. So we're all human, we all make mistakes, and November 2023 was the first time that Cambridge has come up with these track lists. Of course, I do think that they will get better and better in this, but unfortunately, regarding this very specific extract with Latin American music, they weren't specific enough on their track list. So if anyone would like to go and search up on the track list and get the correct artist, get the correct composer, all of that, or even different versions of the track, they were unable to do so properly unless, they did some extra research. So I definitely wouldn't put something like this in the hands of a student. This is definitely up to the teacher and or tutor to do this by themselves and then give the proper things for the students to listen to afterwards. But we can definitely turn every experience into a learning experience, and definitely there are different types of tracks on this album, and it's lovely. We get different types of vibes other than the ones that Cambridge usually gives us regarding Latin American music. So it's lovely. We get some very peaceful, slow, calm tracks, and then we get the very fast things that Cambridge usually lets us listen to when it comes to Latin American music. But okay, enough talking on my side. Let us jump into the questions. We'll jump into our real extract. I'm going to be playing it off YouTube today, but you can definitely go ahead and find it on the music streaming platform that you like or love. So let's hop into the questions and then we'll listen to our extract. In section B2, it says, we will hear an extract for voices and instruments. Yay! So we're going to look at the skeleton score, which has saved our lives, because the only reason why I have the correct extract and the correct title of the piece and the correct everything is because of the skeleton score. So thank you. We weren't given the original audio, but I went ahead and found it with these little clues that Cambridge has given us. And thankfully one of those clues included a skeleton score. So the first question they ask us in the subsection, describe how the printed melody is used by the voices when they enter. Okay. Then after the voices have sung, the instrumental melody is heard again. Okay, how is the music different this time? So now, regarding the questioning, we're led to believe that there's first an instrumental part, then voices do enter, and then we hear instruments on its own again. And when we hear the instruments on its own again, how does it differ from the first time we hear the instruments on its own? Okay, then we have, where does this music come from? Or from where does this music come? And of course, this is Latin America or South America. Now, we don't have to go ahead and specify a country specifically, but we are specifying the region, South American music this is. And of course, we're asked to give a reason for our answer. Only one reason there. We have 1 mark indicated for us in brackets, 1 fact for 1 mark. Here we're going to listen to our extract. Luckily, they do tell us on the track list that we are listening to 1 minute and 25 seconds of the extract. So that's what I'm going to do to the video/audio extract that I've chosen for us today. I'm going to listen, then we're going to come back and answer our questions. Here we go.
Quedó sembrado su corazón. En medio de las montañas un árbol nuevo creció, con sus ramas generosas el universo entero cubrió. En los veranos ardientes, cuando quema más el sol, el viento silba en sus hojas profunda canción de amor, canción de Pablo Neruda, de Don Nicolás Guillén, canción de César Vallejo, Violeta Parra también.
Okay, there we go. So I stopped this track at 1 minute and 35 seconds. Let us go ahead and answer our questions. So I think we'll definitely start at the end, from where does this music come? South America, there we go. We're going to give a reason. And of course, in this extract, I hear, very South American type instruments such as the panpipe, but I also hear other types of instruments that could be used elsewhere. But, definitely when they are used in South American pieces, we can identify it as a reason why this is a South American extract, such as the use of guitars and the way it is used in this extract. And then something to do with a musical characteristic itself has to do with the rhythmic principle of syncopation, the accent of the offbeats. Any of those reasons would give you a mark here. So we're going to go to question 12. Describe how the printed melody is used by the voices when they enter. So of course we're given the melody line on the skeleton score regarding the panpipes, and then we have voices entering. So voices sort of enter around bar 9, I would say the end of bar 9, that upbeat to bar 10. So there's a solo voice that comes in and sings the melody from the end of bar 9 upbeat to bar 10. But in general it sort of is done without the upbeats, so the rhythm is changed a little bit. So you can just say that the voice sings the melody but with slightly different rhythms. The same passage of melody is then harmonized by a group of voices. So that's really what happens once the voices enter. Solo voice and then voices. So we can go ahead and put that down to get our 2 marks here. Then our final question that we need to answer is, after the voices have sung, yes, the instrumental melody is heard again. And that's why I kept playing the track a little bit longer, because when the instrumental melody comes in, I just wanted you to listen to a little bit of it, not just cut off randomly, which sounds like Cambridge might have done in the actual exam, but that's okay. We're going to listen to a little bit extra, about 10 seconds extra, and then we're going to comment on how the music is now different from the first time we have heard the instruments. So here we go. I'm going to play the extract once more, then we can answer our final question.
Quedó sembrado su corazón en con sus ramas generosas el universo entero cubrió. En los veranos ardientes, cuando quema más el sol, el viento silba en sus hojas, profunda canción de amor, canción de Pablo Neruda, de Don Nicolás Guillén, canción de César Vallejo, Violeta Parra también.
Okay, there we go. So let's answer our last question. But I just want to backtrack a little bit. Something that came to me now when I was listening to the extract again was that the reason for the different rhythms, or how the voice alters the rhythms a little bit of that of the instrumental part, is because of the words. And of course, you know, I don't speak Spanish, but the words and the lyrics had to, you know, fit into this rhythm, and that's why there are some, you know, semiquaver rhythms that come up, or different rhythms that are altered from the panpipe melody, just because we have to fit all those words in there. I mean, this is the same for if we were gonna English lyrics in a song. Doesn't necessarily need to be a Latin American song, but any type of song, any type of poem that you want to set to music, and you already have a set, you know, melody. But when the words change for different verses, you have to alter it a little bit so that you can fit in the words. There we go, so that we don't cut off our language, no matter what language it may be. But okay, done with a little side note, let's answer question 13. After the voices have sung, the instrumental melody is heard again. How is the music different this time? So in brackets, we see that we are asked to give 2 facts for 2 marks. So let's try this out. So there's no introduction this time around. After we hear the voices sing and then the instruments come back, there's no introduction. It's kind of like when the solo voice first started, that is the melody that the panpipes now play. So the end of bar 9, or that upbeat bar 10, that is the melody that we now hear on the panpipes. We also hear another instrument coming in there. I'm not sure what it is, but we don't have to answer that. We just can recognize that there is another instrument there. The second instrument doubles the panpipes an octave higher. So we do hear something floating an octave higher above the panpipes. And then we also hear something in the middle, another instrumental part that's more in longer note value. So we hear sort of an accompanying part with longer note values. So any of those 2 there will get you your marks here. So there we have it, a nice Latin American extract. Now, of course, if you are writing this paper in 2024, you will not be getting such an extract because the world focus for the year is Latin American music. However, if you are writing and preparing to write this IGCSE listening paper in 2025, you may well get a Latin American extract. So I hope that this video has helped you with your preparation for your IGCSE music listening paper, whether you are writing in 2024 or 2025.